Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here, your source for gaming, tech, emulation, and open source news. Let's get started. Alright, we'll kick things off talking about Nintendo Switch emulation on PC with Ryujinx, and if you use Ryujinx on a laptop or a Steam Deck or really anything with a battery, you're going to like this update. So as of version 1.1.1094, there was an update here to reduce energy usage, especially on Linux and Mac OS. It should help battery-powered systems, such as the Steam Deck or laptops, not run out of battery as quickly while running games on Ryujinx. And this is also pretty big. It may help devices that are thermal throttling. So if you are using Ryujinx, you may want to check to see you're running the latest version. And if your device was thermal throttling, let me know in the comments below if this update actually helped. I'm very curious. Moving on, and we're quickly talking about the legendary Infidelity. And Infidelity just released a brand new port, Metroid from the NES to the SNES. He says here it took a little over 2 months and it was the most extensive port he's ever done. And it also includes MSU1. If you wanted to learn more about MSU1, I'll drop a link to a very helpful article in the description below, and I do recommend checking it out. At a high level here, MSU1 is a custom coprocessor designed by Near, and it enables playback of CD quality lossless audio. Next up, we're talking about Need for Speed Rivals, and if you haven't played this game in a while, or if you enjoyed the game and are still playing it, you may enjoy it even more now. There's a brand new 60+ FPS patch that is just released. The patch is called Need for Speed Rivals Framerate Unlocker. It's available on GitHub. It's 100% free. It's open source. It works with the Steam versions of Need for Speed Rivals, and version 1.0.1 just released. And speaking about patches, next up we're talking about one that I would argue is pretty huge, at least in my opinion. It's over on romhacking.net, and it's the English translation of Samurai Shodown RPG, a game that was only released in Japan. Now this ROM hack is for the Neo Geo CD version of the game, which is arguably the best version out there. There's also the PlayStation and Sega Saturn versions, again, all in Japanese. Interestingly enough, this game was planned to be released in the USA, but never materialized for some reason. It was released back in 1997 here, and this patch brings a 100% complete translation of the game to English. On top of that, we've also got a bunch of bug fixes, brand new artwork, and a mode here to switch between the PlayStation 1 and Sega Saturn versions of the Element system. This is an absolutely incredible ROM hack, and if you're into RPGs, if you're into Samurai Shodown, if you're into beautiful graphics and arguably great gameplay, you may be a fan of this ROM. I'll drop a link to the ROM hacking page in the description below, and feel free to check it out. And speaking about Japanese exclusives, next up here we're talking about a mobile game that has just been dumped. It was exclusive to Japan, and it's a demo of Biohazard The Stories, or Resident Evil The Stories. And this is very interesting here. It has time-limited situations and stories that require an internet connection. If you wanted to learn more about this one, I'll drop a link to a very helpful wiki and that Twitter account in the description below, and feel free to check out both. And speaking about accounts, if you value your EA account, you may want to pay attention to this. I saw this one on Twitter today, and they say looks like EA may ban your account for purchasing It Takes Two on Steam. Interestingly enough, when I was looking into this to see if it was actually true, I found a post on Reddit from a year ago, banned from EA Origin, can't play It Takes Two. And this is from someone who also purchased It Takes Two on Steam during a winter sale. And then I did even more digging, and I found this post right on the EA website from back in January of 2022. And this person purchased the game on the PlayStation Store and was banned after using the Friends Pass. And on top of that, scrolling down in that very thread, and there's 3 more people here who were also banned, except these people picked it up on Steam. Sadly, the thread is closed, and unfortunately it is marked as resolved, which doesn't make any sense because this is not a resolution. It's a question as to maybe their account was hacked, and some very basic steps in order to look through. There is no resolution here. Checking on Steam as well, and there are some discussions asking about the ban. This person here, according to Google Translate, played the game for 3 hours and their EA account was banned. Going down the rabbit hole even further here and taking a look at the negative reviews on Steam, and a lot of people again are complaining about a ban. I'm not quite sure as to what's going on here. I'm assuming it has to do with the EA Origin account and possibly some DRM stuff. So when searching for DRM stuff, I found yet another thread, and this was right on the EA website, and again from 2022. And this person here says something that to me kind of makes sense. They say something I found online is that if you purchase through Steam and linked your Steam account to your Origin one, as they did initially, some software used by Steam for statistics might be considered as cheating software on the Origin side. That is kind of putting these puzzle pieces together. So based on everything I've seen, I'm assuming it's DRM related and poor coding on EA's behalf. It doesn't appear that Origin is playing nicely with other storefronts. If you've been banned, let me know in the comments below. If you know exactly what's going on here, let me know in the comments below. And EA, if you're watching this, fix your crap. And speaking about crap, next up we're talking about Evernote. And I've been seeing a lot of people speaking crap about Evernote and Evernote's latest changes here. Apparently Evernote wants to push people to their paid versions, and they've limited the free plan to only 50 notes in one book. According to this TechCrunch article, this is a test and we'll see how things go. I think this may cost Evernote a whole bunch of users. In fact, taking a look at the comments here, and people are not saying nice things. And speaking about nice things, next up we're talking about Baldur's Gate 3, and they just released a massive 30GB patch. This adds in a brand new epilogue, 2 new game modes, honor mode and custom mode, performance improvements, and a whole lot more. The changelog here is absolutely massive, so I'll drop a link to it in the description below, and feel free to check it out if you're a fan of Baldur's Gate 3. You may want to revisit the game if you haven't played it in a while, or if you've completed it, or if you're currently playing it, just make sure it's updated. And speaking about updates, my favorite open source video editor and one that I use for this channel, Shotcut, just got a brand new update to version 23.11. So in this new version, there's a whole bunch of bug fixes, improvements, and brand new features. For example, easing in and out of keyframes. And they've also added in support for the NVIDIA AV1 hardware encoder. Honestly, here I'm a massive fan of Shotcut. It's simple, it's straightforward, it's free, it's open source, and it works very well, at least for me. And last up here, we talked about this one a little while ago, but it's now released. It's Hitman Blood Money Reprisal, and it's available on Android. It isn't cheap, but at the same time, this game has been optimized, at least I've been told, for Android. Honestly, here I haven't had the chance to play this one yet. It is on my radar though. If you've played it, let me know in the comments below. You would have been one of 500 plus. This game does not seem to be very popular, which is kind of surprising. But anyways, that is all I've got for you in this one. Straight to the point, all stuff and no fluff. We talked about a bunch today. Let me know your thoughts about absolutely any of it in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Don't tempt fate, save your state.